Kia ora, heading through towards the end of the week, we've still got some dry weather and some good spells of sunshine down these eastern sides of the country. More cloud in the west, and you can see this wetter weather on the South Island. There is a change in the forecast for the weekend. Keep an eye on that later on. But for the rest of today, the dry weather out towards these eastern and northern parts of both islands. As we head through the night time, we'll find more cloud around these western sides of the North and the South Island. Some showers pushing through there as well. But for the North Island, there's still plenty of dry weather through towards the early hours of tomorrow. And I think for the South Island, although it's a cloudier and wetter day out on the western side, out towards Canterbury and Marlborough, it stays dry through the night time and not nearly as cold as it has been. On in towards Friday, well, it's a fairly similar sort of story. That east-west split is very much the story as we head through the daytime, with plenty of clear, dry and sunny weather out on those eastern parts. But you can see we've got our next weather feature waiting to come back towards us just in time for the weekend. For the North Island during Friday, we'll find more cloud from, say, Waikato down to the Kapiti coast. Some showers through there, more likely north of, say, the Kapiti coast, Manawatu up in towards Wanganui, but very much more of an isolated affair through parts of Waitomo, and they'll become much more isolated through the day as well, some decent spells of afternoon sunshine. For Auckland, across towards the Coromandel, down through this eastern coast, and even down towards Wellington, not a bad looking day, staying generally dry, some decent spells of sunshine out east, just a touch more cloud in Wellington and through Auckland during the day. In terms of our temperatures, highs back into the 20s for parts of Hawke's Bay and Gisborne, and not far off there, 19 degrees in Auckland. Down on the south side, east-west split once again, plenty of clear sky and sunshine through Canterbury, a bit of early morning cloud through some of the valleys in the parts of Aotearoa there, but generally a dry, fine and sunny story. You'll find there's more cloud around the western coast, some showers still with us through parts of Fiordland and Westland, still on and off through those northern parts of our patch as well. But for dry weather, head towards the east and some pretty decent temperatures as well. Highs once again about 19 degrees Celsius, and you'll notice it's not too cold through the night time either. We've lost those frosty conditions we saw at the first half of this week. On in towards the weekend, that's when we start to find a bit of a change in the weather. Low pressure brings this wet, windy weather back with us during the daytime on Saturday. Heaviest about the western side of the South Island, but some of that rainfall spilling across and towards the headwaters of Canterbury and Aotearoa. A fair amount of cloud reaching that eastern side as well by the end of the day. For the North Island, most of the time we stay dry, but you can see there in Taranaki some wet weather arriving by the end of the day on Saturday. We have already issued some severe weather watches for the South Island on Saturday for heavy rainfall for parts of Fiordland, the ranges of Westland, up in towards Buller and the Tasman region, and some stronger winds out through the east, through the Canterbury High Country. As we head in towards Sunday, we'll find that wet weather moves further northward, some heavy rainfall through parts of Tasman, perhaps the Aotearoa range. And as we go through to the end of the day on Sunday, Auckland, it's your turn for the rainfall, just to finish off the weekend. That's it from me, but you can always find the latest forecasts over at MetService.com.